You are listening to Making It, the path to beauty industry greatness with Canvas Me, where we go behind the scenes to explore the human side of beauty professionals, learn how they found balance in their lives, overcame obstacles, and created communities that transcend the ordinary. Hosted by Canvas Me co-founders Jen and Matt Martinelli alongside Canvas Me directors April and Megan, Making It is your guide to navigating the ever-evolving world of beauty.
Welcome to Making It, your backstage pass to beauty. I'm April, and today we're diving in with Kat Chelko, owner of Kat Pro Studio. She's sharing the true side of opening her own salon and the backstory as to why she's disrupting the industry. Kat's journey reminds us all to open our apertures to be intentional and let the beauty of the world in. Well, I am super excited to have you today. And so, Kat, let's kick it off. Do you feel like you've made it?
Hell yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love this. Okay. Tell us a little bit more. Yeah. So take us through that journey of, where you are today and how you're feeling like a hell yeah, you've made it.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm born and raised here in Colorado, and I kind of fell in the whole beauty shindig thing in high school. Actually, like I ended up doing my friend's hair and their makeup for prom dances. And there's so many photos of me just like with a ponytail and like sneakers and a dress on. So it's funny how I fell in love with this industry because I am such a tomboy at heart. I am all about getting my hands dirty and being a total adventurous child. So then when I fell into the beauty industry, my mom and dad were like, "Whoa, what is going on?" But it was also one of those things that I have learning disabilities, very dyslexic, wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was an adult. But that kind of explained a lot. And so what I liked about it was the creativity. I was doing my friend's hair and makeup and I was like, this is so much fun. And I'm just going to go to beauty school. And so I did. After high school, I went to the Aveda Institute in Denver. Had the time of my life. Met really great people. And I loved the whole journey of it and how it's like, hey, let's go pick up trash. Let's go, make sure you bring in your reusable bug, So Aveda was a really fun experience. And then I did graduate on top of my class. There's a big, beautiful portrait, not of me, but of my work down in the school. And it was really cool. So it felt like I finally found a place that I belong.
Wow. So I'm sure even at that moment, you must have felt like you've made it even at that point, to have your work presented. Yeah. Such an accomplishment.
So it was one of those things too, where I was like, okay, life isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be because all I knew was, school and education and those things that it was already so hard for me. So then when I got into something that I love and felt like I fell into the creativity and the artist part of it, I was like, oh, I'm going to be fine in life. I'm totally going to be okay.
Yes, it almost goes into that saying, right? You never work a day in your life if you love what you do. And it feels like you fell right into the creative, passionate side. And it just became so natural for you.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
So take us a little bit after school. So what did you do after school?
So this is a wild story, and I hope you guys are all ready for this. I did get an apprenticeship job, a paid apprenticeship at an Aveda salon. And I won't say names. And, but I was very excited about it, but I ended up having to go in for an emergency eye surgery. So for those that don't know me on that level, I do have glaucoma in my left eye. And I've had about 4 surgeries on just my eye itself. And so we were like, okay, we got to go in for this emergency surgery. I tell the owners of this salon, and I was like, I still want to take the job. I still want to be here. But, just a heads up, I will be blind out of my left eye from anywhere for 3 to 6 months as it heals. So I'm only using one eye. And it's not that they said, absolutely not, we're not dealing with this. But the way that they responded, the way I perceived their response was not supportive. And it made me very uncomfortable. So I turned it down and I said, I'm not going to follow through with this. And then I went and got a job at JCPenney's Salon, which I don't even know if JCPenney's still around.
They are. Yes.
But I stayed there until I healed through my surgery and I didn't give up. And then I went into a commission salon, bum, bum, bum. And this salon atmosphere was your typical definition of a toxic environment.
Sure.
And so it's like, you can't take clients if you wanted to leave. You're signing a non-compete. You're going through all this process of like, okay, checking out color. This is how much I used. But then she was still taking money out of my paycheck for claiming things that I was overusing too much. And the abuse was real. And I think that's what a lot of people don't fully understand about the beauty industry is it is extremely abusive. And it has been something where we all have tolerated it to a degree because we're so in love with our craft and we don't want to give that up. And I was young, I was in my 20s at this point. And so it was one of those things that you just being treated that way, you just think is normal. So I stayed there for a while and I got beat down good, but I was like, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to still do hair. So I'm just going to do it out of my house. And then I went and worked at MAC Cosmetics.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes. While doing hair out of your house.
Okay. Yes. And I wanted to learn the makeup side of things. And that was also because of what I've been born with. I've been born with a port wine stain birthmark over more than half my face. I've had over 200 some laser treatments. I started at 4 weeks old. Bless my mom. She's an angel. And so I was very used to people telling me that my difference was a problem and my look was a problem, right? And so I was like, man, if I get into makeup, that would be cool because then I could help other people and thought it was going to be like so fun. And I learned a ton through MAC. And I've also met incredible connections that I still have in my life today because of MAC. And things just changed and it did not align with my morals whatsoever. And then I also went through lip surgeries in this time too. So then I'm like showing up to a cosmetic company and I've got like stitches on my face and I'm trying to sell lipstick.
Sure. And that's just, yeah, that has to be incredibly hard and emotionally, for you, that has to be a lot to go through, for sure. Yeah.
It was a lot. It was, and again, I'm in my 20s, so we're all so insecure in that part of our life and fragile in so many different ways. And so I just felt like, man, this isn't it either. So I worked for MAC for 4.5 years and then left. And then took the leap of fully just growing my business out of my salon or out of my house. And I did. And that was also terrifying. And yeah. I did it.
I was going to say, like, take us through. So, like, I mean, first of all, let's just recap real quick. So you went on this high, Aveda school, was recognized for your outstanding work and then had these life challenges present themselves. And you also, it sounds to me like you were struggling a bit to find the place of belonging where it felt like your team, like that you just felt like you connected with. And I love the fact that you continued to explore different avenues. Like nothing really got you down. Like you were kind of like pivoting to these new things. And I love that you got into makeup and even touching on your personal story and how it's really, inspiring to you to help people feel beautiful and things like that while you're doing hair at home. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about while you're doing hair at home, because I grew up with a family beauty salon. And at one point the salon was at my house. And I know that there were some challenges for my mom who was doing hair. So walk us through a little bit of that experience of doing hair from your home.
I love that you know the perspective of it as well. Okay, so I had a cat at this time. His name's Simba. He's still with us. It's just he's a traitor and chose my parents over me. That's a sensitive subject. Um, so it was me and my cat, and I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And I'm like putting a salon together in the guest bedroom. And then I'm trying to make sure also, really did not know that I had ADHD at this point, but there was things that I'm like, gosh, I'm like depressed. It's so hard for me to keep my house picked up and like those kind of things, but trying to make sure that my like little condo was pristinely beautiful all the time, to then try to make sure that these clients felt a elevated luxury, somewhat of a luxury experience that you can only deliver so much in your home. And then my cat, his name's Simba for a reason, started to get very, very territorial. So it was actually causing him to get very angry. And so I'd end up having, like, I have these people coming in and out of my house, and I'm having to lock my cat up in my bedroom, because he started attacking people.
Oh gosh.
And so I'm kind of like, okay, this isn't going to work, you know? And I did that for a few years. So he didn't start, he's very much of like an outdoor feral cat. So he didn't really start doing that right away, but then I think he just was kind of like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I can't do this. And then I had my dog Freya as well halfway through all of this, I believe. No, I'm sorry. I got her after. So I did move the salon out of the home and moved into a Phoenix salon suite is what I did.
Okay, so you ended up, so basically you experimented with the home salon and just found that there was just too many obstacles, too many things. And one of the things that I, saw with the home salon in my upbringing is that really my mom felt like she was always working. There really was less boundaries. People would call and be like, well, I know you're home, so can you do my hair? And so I know that was a struggle because she is a pleaser. And so that was one of the things I saw at a young age of mixing a little bit of that like home business where you have clients coming for a service can be rather difficult. You really need to kind of set boundaries, and there's all these other hurdles. And also, I'm sure you felt like there was no break between your personal life and business. So that makes it challenging as well. So I love the fact that you end up in a suite. So tell us a little bit about that experience. So it must have actually been like a weight off your shoulders to be like, okay, I have a space. It's my own.
Yes. It was crazy because I was very scared, which is so funny to look at because where I'm at now, it's like, but at that point I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into a suite and hopefully I can do this and maintain it and grow more. So I moved into this place, and it was very small, as we all know. And that's the thing that I love to talk about too, of salon suites, but moved into this place and I'm there for 4 years. And I loved being able to still talk to other people. But still being in a salon suite life is very, very lonely. And I actually did not realize how lonely I've been until I just hired my first stylist, to be honest with you.
And Kat, just so you know, so I actually used to manage salon suites myself. So that would be a common topic that I would have conversations with, stylists who are brand new. They all go through that fear of like, I just went from a commissioned salon. What is going to happen next? Like, how does this work? The whole business side of thing really kicks in. I think you had an advantage because you did a little bit from your home first. So you had a first step into independence and things like that. But a lot of times people don't talk about it's not for everybody. And sometimes the suite model is perfect for some people, but it really can be lonely. And that was a common conversation I would have with stylists, and I actually really always made a point to just come in and chat with them because I understood they were looking for that
Mm-hmm.
team. And
Yes.
so, yeah.
Yes. It's very lonely, and I had no idea. Also, the educational parts of things, right? Like, let's just call it out. If you're by yourself for years and you're not surrounded by people that are better than you on a skill set level, you're not going anywhere, girl. Like, you're not able to elevate yourself. You're not able to. So that's what I was really starting to see is I was like, okay, I'm putting money towards classes. I'm trying to pull from different elements of trying to raise my education. And then you get in the salon and then you're like, cool, I don't have anyone to bounce this off of. I don't have anyone to help support me. Is this the color line I want to use? So there are so many elements of the fact of like when you're in a salon suite, you're learning that ownership, which is great. But then there's those other things that you're like, I'm so alone and I want to be better, but I can't be better because I'm not around anyone to make me better.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that like the suite model does have its place, right? For certain stylists, either depending upon where you are in your career, right? It could be a great
Yes.
place to end your career, as you're like
Yes.
not looking for those education things. But like you, I just love the fact that you've actually dipped into so many different aspects of being a hairstylist in different places, commission to, JC Penney's to suites to at your home. And I know we are going to talk about soon that you just opened your very first
Yeah.
salon. But yeah,
Yeah.
take us through. Yes.
It's freaking wild. So yeah, here I did, the salon suite life. And then I moved to a med spa after that for 2 years. For a window, let's be real. I wanted a window. And then I kind of was like, I went through some emotional turmoil in my personal life with family. And my goal, even in beauty school, was to open a salon. But once your like heart is completely like broken and you're trying to heal, you're also kind of like, I've just experienced a whole nother level of heartbreak. So why don't I take this risk? And that's what I did. Is I was like, I'm going to grow from this. I'm going to be accountable and I'm going to really self-reflect on these things that I have been doing my whole life as a person, as a people pleaser, as an empath. And I'm like, I'm going to go excel with it. And, that's exactly what I did. So, I got very fortunate. My dad is a real estate developer. And so he's had connections where we met up with a realtor and we looked at multiple places. I knew I wanted to be in Castle Rock. And why is because it's still the historic Western town. I'm a horse girl. I'm an animal girl. And so I'm a cowboy hat girl. And so I wanted to represent Colorado and what truly Colorado represents. And that is the whole Western cowboy town. And so I was very, very set on finding something in Castle Rock and I did. Um, and I gutted the whole thing. And my budget was about 80 and then it ended up being 120. And that's the reality of opening your own thing and trying to make your dreams come true. It's not easy and nor has it been easy. And it's the growth and the challenges and the way it stretches you. You're like, where's the light at the end of the tunnel? And you don't know when the light is. But when I say I made it, I made it. I'm here to create this environment that's toxic free, love on stylists, love on their craft, focus on their craft, but be supportive of them. We have so many moms in the world. We have business women. We have people that want to do a couple different things. Well, go do those things. And I'm here to still support you if you're wanting to do hair. So it's really created, I'm very excited and I'm very excited to have the foundation of my salon to be authentically who you are. And I will have your back for it.
And that I love how, if we come full circle, right, to this moment, that you literally are creating a business model that you're kind of disrupting the way that a typical salon runs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. And I love that you did bring that up because yes, I am moving some serious cheese, April. I cannot believe how so many other salon owners I've had some pushback. I've had some feedback from these people, and I don't care. Because I'm not going to live in fear. And I think so many of these salons have.
for sure. And you touched upon earlier that there's this almost like this mindset of you only know what you know, right? So when
Yeah.
you're in an environment that maybe doesn't feel correct, but you're not sure because it's just really all that you know. I love that you are creating basically a place where you're going to help people support and grow and find their dreams. And so if they want to open a salon, you are not intimidated by that. You're actually probably energized by the fact that
Yes.
someone is hungry and wants to succeed. And because you know that there's almost like a younger version of yourself in them.
Absolutely. And I want to be able to give that to them. I would have loved to have had someone that was so kind to me and inspiring to me. But at the same time, I had enough grit and I had enough of my passion to be like, I don't care. Like, you guys continue to rip me down if you want, but I am here for a bigger purpose and I feel that. And that's exactly what I'm living out.
I love that. I love that. And honestly, Kat, would you be at this place if you didn't have all that experience? You know, it's one of those you look back and it's like they really kind of got you to this place. So there is some gratitude for that because I mean, I have seen pictures and videos of your salon and it looks fantastic. I love the boho Western vibe. It's very Colorado and on point. And I'm just excited to see you grow. So tell us a little bit more about your business and kind of where you're headed.
Yee, I'm so excited. So I am really pumped about being able to hold educational classes in the salon, networking events for all of us stylists, and then creating a kick-ass team. I am looking for stylists that are wanting to elevate their career and really focus on their niche. We are an extension salon, so I am wanting people to be certified in one of those methods. But at Cat Pro, it's hourly pricing, which is really great. And a lot of people have different opinions on that. But if you're pricing yourself correctly and you're getting that right guidance with hourly, it's kind of a no-brainer. Also, transparency for your stylist and for your clients is huge. So clients want to know how long they're going to be there for and how much it's going to be. So I don't like to itemize things or do the a la carte or I need to focus on my job and doing an amazing, job for them. And so if I'm constantly like, oh, well, I need to add that on because that would look, she needs that. And it just simplifies everything. So it's like, hey, this is how much time we have. This is what I'm doing. And this is how much it's going to be. We're also gratuity free because we are not service providers. We are talented artists that are here to not just provide you a service, but we are here to guide you as well. So a lot of people sit in the chair and be like, this is what they want. And a stylist will do it, whether or not they truly understand that that's going to fit for them or not. So taking the time to understand the client, what their lifestyle is like, being feasible with their budget, and also how often they're going to come in, where you are the expert and you make sure that that's the way they feel. So that's something as well that removing gratuity was like the greatest thing of my life. I'm not even gonna lie. It's awesome. Like, I have clients that are like, oh, cool. Hey, I'm running to the airport. Can you just run my card? And it's like, cool. Yeah. And they know exactly. It's a no-brainer. It is a freaking no-brainer. And it's been a game changer. And then I also have, I think too, I want people to be like, during the holiday time, people are like, no, Kat, let me give you a little more. Like, here's your Christmas. And I'm like, don't give me that. Get on my website and donate to the wolves. That's what I care about. That's more of a gift to me than you handing me $100. So go give that $100 to the wolves, and it's all awesome. So I do have the Rocky Mountain Wolf organization linked on my website.
Oh my gosh,
for
I
anyone
love.
that's like, here's more money. I'm like, cool, bring it there. Yeah.
Yes. What has been the response from your customers with this? Because I feel like this is quite a change, right? We're very accustomed as customers to, we tip all of these different type of services, in the industry. So what has been the response?
Honestly, April, I've had zero negative response. Some people are kind of like, oh, it feels weird. And I'm like, I'm sure it does feel weird. But then they're also like, wow, this is really awesome. Like, oh, wow. Okay. So that sense of relief, especially I just had an extension client last week, and I ran her card and she's like, oh my God, wait, I didn't tip you. And I was like, no, remember? And she goes, and she sat there and she was like, that's really nice. And it's like, yeah, it is, it simplifies. I think the clients, I know this is how I feel anytime I go anywhere that I have to tip. Did I tip enough? Did I do the math right? Is that okay? Are they going to like me? So it creates the whole tipping and the whole itemizing a la carte thing. It creates stress on the client. And I want to eliminate all of that for my clients and for myself. Right. I want to be able to just focus on my job and be like, great, see you in a couple weeks. Your card's on file. I'll run it, whatever.
I love that.
So,
That really truly is, from the customer standpoint, it is a little bit of a stressful thing, right? And
yeah.
we do tend to naturally think of like, is that enough? Is that not enough? How does that work with product? How does that work with products? Like, and there's this almost like overcomplication of it. And I love the fact that you are taking a new approach to so many things, because this is the first time you've removed tipping out of your entire journey.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a whole new
Yes.
thing.
And I think too, you're not feeling, I think what tipping causes is this worthiness, right? And where you're just like, am I worthy? Am I worthy? Am I worthy? And at least that's how that was for me. And so then when I removed it, I wasn't questioning my value anymore. And our value comes from ourselves, not from others. So removing that gratuity is been something that I'm like, I can't wait to share this with my team. Like, they're going to love this.
Yeah. So, to any of our listeners that are potentially, on the brink of possibly trying to start searching for commercial real estate to open their own salon, is there any tips you would give them? I mean, you did shed a little light that this is hard, and there are going to be challenges and places and questions and answers that you have no idea what you're getting into. What is some advice you would share?
Really stay in tune with yourself. Get a therapist as well.
Yes.
Having a therapist is really huge. And then I would recommend getting yourself a business coach. My business coach was the perfect fit for me. And I was able to really lean into her on a lot of my reactive system. And that's something that we all need to be in tune with as well. You don't want to make decisions out of a reactive place. So, really kind of doing the research of where you want to open your salon, and don't go too big. It's not out of fear, but I wouldn't start with an 8-chair salon unless you've had other experience in management and you've opened a salon before, maybe. But I think that take the risk, but be a little conservative on certain things, because the debt and the loans is hard. And so you want to just be, it's going to be stressful. All of it's really stressful. So trying to really budget correctly, and then plan for that budget going probably a good 30 to 50 over.
That's pretty typical for any type of construction project, right? So,
Yeah.
they always quote us something and then it always seems to be a little bit higher, whether it's a home project or something like that. So
Yep.
it's great advice to always have that in the back of your mind, is that it's likely going to be over. And when you got to that point where the budget was just getting above where you were initially, was
Mhm.
it things that like were necessary that you needed to have, or it was just like, I don't have the choice to, I
Mhm.
have to add this, and things like that.
Yes. Yes and no.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
um, some of those things you like it, when you are looking for a space, try to make sure that it's not too old. Um, and making sure that, the piping and the HVAC and all of those things that you really need to take, because there's so much we can't control on that. So making sure that you take that into a good where you're like, oh, this building was built in 72. How's the plumbing? We're a hair salon. You're not opening a boutique. If you're opening a boutique, adorable. But we're using water all the time. And so making sure that you're really looking at those things. A lot of my expenses did end up being because the previous person that was in there did not do things legally correct. He did not pull permits. Not okay. Um, just be safe and always pull permits and making sure that you get the architectural side of things too. So you know what the building looks like. Um, all of those things are super important and those things cost a lot of money. And then my floors, it's just concrete, but just to even paint it was a $10,000. So there's things that you have to do, but you don't know until you get in it. But then
Right.
there's also things that you don't have to do. Like me, I did not have to have a Dolly Parton bathroom. I didn't have to have this, I'm an aesthetic girly, always have been, but there's those things that I could have cut, but I chose not to because for me, I am also trying to deliver a representation of who I am and what I care about. And Dolly Parton is one of those women that she's paved the way for not just the music industry, but for women in general. And so it was very important for me to be like, no, I want a Dolly Parton bathroom and I don't care how much that wallpaper is.
I love this. I love
I'll
this. I
take
mean,
out another load.
Uh, well, and that's such a great insight to the reality of building your own salon, right? There's
Totally.
so many decisions. I'm sure at some point you felt like decision fatigued, and I think it's great advice that you said to have a coach, basically have like a sounding board
Mhm.
team to help you
Yes.
navigate these things. And I do love the fact that you said, basically make sure you're not impulsively making decisions. Really think them
Yes.
through, because these are big commitments, moving
Yep.
forward. So from start to finish, I'm sure there's some listeners that are curious, how long from when you picked a place to completion of construction, when you were been able to open your doors, how long did that process take?
Oh, you guys, that was the worst part. That was the worst part. So I signed in May and I didn't move into my space until January. Um, and it was very difficult. And it was difficult in the ways too that I was overbooked with my regular clients. And then I'm like, okay. And then I'm also trying to build out this space. And then I'm also trying to be like, what do I want the foundation of the space to be? And so, um, I got a coach right away. Um, I knew I was opening a salon, but I was like, okay, I need a business coach to help me delegate what the heck I'm doing because I've never done this before. So I ended up raising my prices 40% and then I went hourly. I lost more than half my clients.
Wow,
That scared the shit out of me.
for sure.
It scared me so bad. But then I also was like, okay, now I've got this time that I have in my business classes and trying to build my foundation. And then also I'm going back and forth to the salon, trying to get permits, I mean, I am jumping through hoops left and right. And I am holding on for dear life. That's how it felt. Like I just was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I insane? I'm insane. But at the same time, it's like you go on this journey and it's miserably hard, but you're also like, I'm not going to turn back and go backwards, but I'm also like, well, this is pretty cool too, you know? And then you start gaining new clients that just think that you're the bomb and think that it great, gratuity free, hourly, you're amazing. And then I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. I have clients that love me and value my craft. And I'm not saying the clients that I lost didn't, but you have to shed weight that does not respect you or not willing to pay for you to move forward. And that's what happened. And to continue to grow, you've got to shed that weight. So that's it's hard and it's a hard balance. But yeah, it took a long time to build it out. And I'm very grateful for my mom. My mom designed the whole place. She's the shit. So, between her and I had support and, support's huge, but just believing in yourself and trying to push through it is the biggest thing.
So I feel like you just gave so much advice in the last few minutes that really that you're going to have some challenges. And the fact that you switched to your new business model while you're trying to navigate all of these things, it must feel like a blur. Like you probably like
it was horrible. I'm like, and it was so bad too, because it's like, okay, I have to do it, right? Because you don't want to move into your new space and be like, okay, guess what, everybody? My prices went up 40% and this is what I am now. You know, like you can't do that. You gotta say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And there was some clients that I kept at, you know, a certain price until then I fully moved into my new salon and was like, okay, this is where we're at. And, you know, just being very transparent and communicating with them. But when you lose more than half your clients and then you're building out of space and you're just seeing the dollar signs go up, it's terrifying.
yeah. And I feel like that's one of your biggest advices, like try not to get overwhelmed. Have the support system there for you. Shout out to your mom. That sounds like she was a saint in this whole process for you as well.
Yep.
But it's just recognizing you're going to come across new challenges and just to keep going. Stay the course. You're going to have moments of second guessing yourself is what I heard from you, that you basically are like, why did I do this?
100%. Yes.
But the flip side of that, you were like, this is pretty awesome. And this is cool. Like, look what I'm doing. And so I think that that's just such a reminder to those. And maybe there are people listening who are currently in those stages, right? And they're just having those moments of, why did I even start this project? And I'm losing clients, right? That had to have been a panic moment for you for sure. As you're trying to invest into this new, and you're seeing now a decline, and that must have been a like moment.
Well, and I think we're trained to fear this stuff, right? Like, you know, if we look back at, again, it's like, I'm doing everything so different and I'm definitely stirring the pot, right? But we have been trained to take everything, you give everyone whatever they want, and you don't lose clients. You just retain. And that's not true. That is not true. For us to truly thrive and for us to truly continue to grow, you have to lose clients, period. Because then you won't gain the ones that you have been dreaming of unless you lose the ones that are for someone else now. There's plenty of room for everybody. There's plenty of, we're like tattoo artists. You need to pick out a hairstylist that fits your goals, but also you and fits you on an emotional level. And you should be enjoying the person that's doing your hair. And if that's not the case, then go find someone else, because the world is filled with so many, and there's plenty of room for everyone. And so supporting others is also huge, because supporting other people's wins isn't going to affect your wins.
100%. And actually, I think you've taken that mindset into how you're recruiting for your salon, right? You're actually
Yes.
building the foundation to attract the right talent to your,
Yes.
because you want to create an amazing team that all have this supportive narrative, that are all looking out for each other. And I think that's just such a refreshing, outlook on the salon industry of creating a place of belonging. And that's really truly what Canvas Me is, as well as we, like you were speaking to earlier, is like, we want people to find the right fit, right? You don't want
Yeah.
to have the wrong
Yep.
people because the wrong people don't usually work out. So, yeah.
Well, and I'm not here to fill chairs, right? And I think that's like, as you and I have talked about too, the hiring experience is very difficult. But I love what you said is it's all about timing and it's all about that patience. And again, those are qualities. Being patient is something that we all have to work on. But then once you start to kind of like really feel that, you're like, you know what, you're right. I don't need to rush this. I'm not in a spot that I need to fill these chairs because I'm panicked. Sure, I'm freaked out about financial stuff, but it's still the fact of why did I do this? It's not to make money. Yes, I want to be successful. Yes, I want to have that lifestyle that I want. But the overall goal of why I'm doing this is to create a happy everyday environment where we're all just pumped to go do our job.
Yeah. And that is one of the biggest things that I talk to salons about is it's truly about timing. That talented professional that aligns perfectly with you, Kat, might be in a tough situation and they're not aware that there is a better situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so everything
Yep.
is about timing. And that's where we come in with a great software tool that allows you to be seen at any point, right? So at some point you may fill all of your chairs, but we all know things happen, right? You may grow someone to where they are going to step off to do their own thing. And now you have another spot to fill. And we just
Yes.
feel, yeah. So like,
That's my goal. I don't want that. This isn't their permanent home. I want you guys to have a landing spot where you feel heard and believed in. And then if you want to open your own salon, you bet your butt I'm in your corner and I'm going to help support that.
Kat, you are amazing because I love that you are just naturally a mentor and coach, right? You're just falling into those shoes. Yes, like you truly are inspiring other people. And I'm sure that, this is really something that I think is just so needed in the industry and, really getting away from the old mindset of like being scared of people growing too much or, and things like that. Like I really feel like, the true talent of people is when their wings can fully open.
Yeah.
Right.
We're naturally free spirited. So I think you gotta believe in that. Don't hold on to the old stuff. Just let them go. Don't fight for the clients that don't want to sit in your chair anymore. It's okay. Don't take it personal. Just let them go.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome. So, Kat, what do you feel is your purpose?
I love this question. I do feel like my purpose is to shine my light, and that is to truly inspire and love and cater and nurture the people that are in my chair, but also the people that work for Cat Pro.
That's amazing. And I feel like your light already is shining so brightly. I mean, just even sharing your story, I mean, I think it just really opens up the eyes to like what you're capable of and that even life's hurdles have not stopped you, right? Think about all of the times that you could have been like, this isn't for me. I'm out.
Totally.
Yeah, I feel like even your cat was trying to get you to test those. So
yeah, my cat's like, Mom, this sucks.
Get them out of the house. So I love that in the sense of like, you truly, truly have a backstory of being up against so many challenges, not only personally but also professionally as well. And really also like stepping above them and seeing like a different side or pivoting to a different place. And I just love that the journey takes you to all these different sections. And what's great is you can relate to a lot of professionals, right? So if you have a professional who's in a commission-based salon, or a professional who just, opened a salon in their house during COVID, because I know that was a big thing to do,
Oh, COVID. We didn't even hit on that, guys. Wow.
But it really, truly is. You could touch upon and relate to so many different professionals who are in different stages of their career, whether they've entered a suite and realized maybe that's not for them. Or even if you met someone who's like, I'm thinking about going into a suite, and you're like, maybe that is your next step, or maybe it's not, and you could talk them through that. And I think that truly is polishing you up to be one of these fantastic mentors in the industry. So I just wanted to say you're so welcome. And thank you so much for doing this. You're an absolute delight. And I am just so excited to see Kat Pro Studios grow and flourish.
Me too. It's going to be great. Let's all have a cute little party at Kat Pro.
Yes. Well, thank you so much again.
Absolutely, April. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope all of you guys have a great day.
The path to beauty industry greatness with Canvas Me. Our mission is to give you a voice, help you find your place of belonging, and empower you to thrive in this beautiful industry. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights that will fuel your own journey in your career. Head over to canvasme.com and unlock the next chapter of your beauty journey. Create your portfolio, showcase your unique talents, and connect with a community that understands and celebrates your story. Subscribe to Making It for more inspiring stories, and let's continue making it together.